Hello, Soberinos, and welcome to this week's Friday Fix. Why don't drink doesn't work. I'm going to share with you a piece of knowledge, a piece of information that is going to help you to make life easier on yourself. If you're in the early days of living your life alcohol-free, or if you're thinking about stopping drinking and haven't quite made the move yet, I know there are a few of you in the Go Get Sober Facebook group who have been struggling over recent weeks with being tempted to go back to alcohol again and have struggled to actually step into sobriety. So I want to share a piece of information with you that will help you. And that is, and it's to do with the way our brain circuitry works. It's to do with the way our brains process information. And it's really, really simple. Our brains don't process negatives very well. So if I were to say to myself, just don't drink this weekend, just don't drink this weekend, what my brain is actually doing is it's hearing the words, drink this weekend, drink this weekend. It's not processing the don't. If I say to you, don't, whatever you do, don't picture a pink elephant. The first thing your brain has to do is imagine the pink elephant before it can actually take away and negate the pink elephant. If you have children, if you have a toddler or a child, and you say to that child, don't spill that drink, the child will mentally create an image or will imagine spilling the drink. It has to be able to imagine the concept of spilling the drink before it can then move to the next stage in the process to think about not spilling the drink. So each time we tell ourselves what we don't want to do, what we don't want to have happen, what we're actually doing is we are cementing, we are embedding the command of the thing that we actually don't want to do. So if I'm in the early days of living my life sober and I'm really struggling and I say to myself, I'm not going to drink this weekend, I'm not going to drink this weekend, I'm not going to drink this evening, I just won't drink this, I just won't drink, not drink, don't drink, no to drink, however you phrase it, whatever negative words you're using, it doesn't work. It doesn't work very well because your brain is having to come up with the concept of the drinking in order for it to then process the whole sentence and to get rid of the negative. So it's much, much better. It's much more powerful, and you are much more likely to succeed when you say the thing or think about the thing that you want to do instead. So rather than saying to myself, I don't want to drink this weekend, don't drink this weekend, I won't drink this weekend, I'm not going to drink this weekend. Instead of saying all of that to myself, all that's doing is planting the concept of drinking this weekend into my brain. So I'm making it much more likely that what I'm actually going to do is drink this weekend. Instead of doing all of that, it's much more effective to say to yourself, this weekend, I'm going to drink water. This weekend at 6 o'clock in the evening on Friday, I'm going to pour myself a cold glass of gin and tonic. This weekend, I'm going to drink herbal tea instead of alcohol. By framing what you are going to do instead of drinking, you are setting yourself up for success. It's a much more effective way to change your habit than by focusing on the thing you don't want to do. And this is a really good tip for those of you who want to steer clear of sugar as well. So rather than telling yourself you don't want sugar, you don't want to eat so much sugar, you don't want to have the dessert, you don't want to have the chocolate, rather than telling yourselves everything that you don't want to be doing, focus on what you do want to be doing instead. So what is it you want to be doing instead of eating the sugar, instead of having the dessert or the chocolate? What is it that you want to be doing instead of drinking? What is it that you want to be doing? I don't know, if you want to get really fit and healthy and you want to create fitter, healthier habits in your lifestyle, instead of saying to yourself, I don't want to be sitting on the sofa all evening, doing nothing, watching TV. Make a positive statement about what you do want to be doing instead of sitting on the sofa watching TV. And if you are a parent of a toddler or a young child and you find yourself telling your child or your toddler, don't spill the drink, don't do this, don't do that. If you can recognize that that's what you're doing, you can actually flip it and you can start to tell the child what you do want them to do instead. And you will get much better results if you do it that way. I remember a classic situation when my son Jake was very young. And I remember watching him carrying a glass or a tumbler of juice or squash across the living room. He was walking across the carpet carrying this glass. And the first thing that sprung to my lips was, Jake, don't spill the drink. Because in my frantic mum head, all I wanted was no mess to have to clear up. So I did the very worst thing I possibly could have done. And I said, don't spill that drink. So of course, in his little brain, what that did was created an image of him spilling the drink. And so what actually happened was he tripped and he spilt the drink. Following that, what I did in future scenarios was I told him to walk carefully and to keep the juice in the cup. Because what that did was it created an image in his brain of keeping the juice in the cup. And he was more likely to make that reality happen instead. So the way you talk to yourself is really important. If you're giving yourself negatives, if you are telling yourself all the things you don't want to do, you are less likely to succeed. Not impossible, but you're less likely to do it. On the other hand, if you're telling yourself all the things you do want to do instead of drinking, instead of reaching for the sugar, you are much more likely to succeed because you're planting a positive statement into your mind. You're creating an expectation of what's going to follow, and you're much more likely to create the reality that you want. So today's Friday Fix, if you're struggling, think about how you're talking to yourself. Cut out the negatives, tell yourself what you do want to do instead of what you don't want to do, and set yourself on that path to success. For lots more tips, lots more strategies, lots more knowledge about how you can work with your brain and get your brain on side so that you can succeed in living a happy and healthy sober lifestyle instead of a sober lifestyle where you might be struggling every day, where it might feel like a battle, where it might feel like it's kind of undesirable and it's not really what you want and you're missing out instead of gaining. If you want the kind of sober lifestyle where you are seizing every moment, where you are being the best version of yourself, where you are focusing on all of the things that you're gaining, the benefits to you, when you're recognizing that you are now taking advantage of all of the things you used to miss out on when you were drinking. If you want that kind of happy, healthy, thriving way of living your life sober, come to the Go Get Sober website, sign up for a membership, get access to the Go Get Sober guidance program, and that will give you everything you need to know. That will give you all of these wonderful snippets of information, knowledge, strategies, and tips so that you can really be liberated by sober living instead of feeling trapped by it. Instead of it being an unattractive, unappealing thing to do, it becomes a attractive, wonderful, liberating way to live your life. So if you're not already a member, I do recommend you come along, join up for a membership, get into the guidance program, learn about how your brain is working and how to get it on side so that you can stay sober easily and effortlessly. I will look forward to seeing you there if you're not there already. But in the meantime, let's go get sober together. Bye.